Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome. Close this up. My air server app is acting fool, so gotta connect my iPad so we can get the drawing started. I hope everybody's doing great today, having a good Wednesday. Let me know what you're up to while I'm connecting this sucker up. Thank you. Did he get to see it? I am pretty happy with how he turned out. The Elvis of the Dead, Bob Roth's Elvis of the Dead situation turned out pretty nice, I think. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll pop it up here again just so y'all can see it, or anybody that missed the starting soon portion of the stream. I'll pop it back on so y'all can see it again a little bit later. How about, first of all, let me get the microphone close to me so y'all can hear me. There we go. Much better. Alrighty, so welcome everybody to Request Wednesday, my favorite day of the week. So we can start doing some requests. I saw that Sandal had some requests, and I think Carter has some requests. Devil Cowboy, I'm sure you have one as well. Hey Carter, welcome, welcome. So glad to see everybody joining today on. It's a really beautiful Wednesday. It's really nice outside. It's not too hot for a summer day here, so it's pretty cool. Oh, let me check my Discord. Give me one sec, Carter. Let's take a look and see what we got here. Princess Peach again. Oh wait, did I do Peach? Yeah, I did Peach for... I think it was it Peach the buff one? I think Peach was the buff one. The Johnny Test one. Alright, so Princess Peach. Trying to figure out, Carter, I'm trying to figure out this collection that you're building here with these requests. An 80s aerobics outfit. It's a very, very interesting gallery that you're building up. Oh, Poochy. I'm done with that. You want the Cain Chomp like biting on his tail? Oh yeah, it was Daisy. That's right. It was Daisy and Rosalina. So yeah, now you'll have the triplets. Oh, just riding along. I can definitely do that. I actually have a Cain Chomp desk lamp that I use um, on my desk here when I do my streams. Gives me nice lighting. It's a really cool lamp. Um, I'll have to show it to y'all at some point. Alright, so we got 2 Mario requests already. Excellent. And let me see, Joker. So, and then we got, ooh, I think I typed something maybe, no. So we got Persona. Oh, I'm done with this. I could do, you know what? Once we get there, I will decide which one I want to go with there, Sandal. I'm probably, so I'm a huge Digital Devil Saga fan, so I might go with the Digital Devil Saga request. Though I really love Persona too, so I think once I get to that one, I will I'll see which way I lean. I'll probably end up leaning towards Digital Devil Saga because it's one of my favorite games ever. Alright, so we've got a couple of requests in there. And if we have time, Sandal, if we end up with a little time and not enough requests, then I'll do a Persona, Joker, or any of those guys. Alright, so let's start with Aerobics Princess Peach. So let's see here. What's everybody up to? What are y'all doing today? What are you playing? Trying to decide what aerobics pose I want to do for Princess Peach. Let's see. Let's do a little. I'm gonna do a little search here for little reference on aerobics poses or pictures of people doing aerobics to get a good idea of a fun one to do. This will be a fun one. So you're gonna work on your daily rock Pikmin. Awesome, you're doing really great on that. Daily challenges are super hard to keep up with. I'm gonna start your top 5 bug type Pokemon. Wow. That is difficult. What are you thinking so far on that top 5? I know Scyther would probably be on mine because he's been one of my favorites since like the very beginning. I love that bug type. I still use Scyther pretty regularly because I like the move False Swipe whenever I'm hunting Pokemon. False Swipe is my go-to. Although I usually go with like Galad for that, or Galade, or however you pronounce his name, I don't know. But I usually go with him because you can learn a few moves that are pretty handy for catching Pokemon. Definitely enjoy having a good catcher around, good Pokemon catcher. You write more than draw, to be honest, yeah. Hey, writing's good. Writing is definitely it's definitely an art. It's a skill. Because when you're writing, you're painting pictures with words, you know. So very similar type of activity for your brain. See, Shuckle, Sizzlipede, Paris, Caterpie, Chargerbug. Oh, that's some good ones. I actually saw I saw your post the other day about with your Sizzlipede cards that you found, and I was thinking about you because I went to the store, the comic shop, and they had some cool like full art Sizzlipede cards. I was wondering if you had those. It's definitely a cool Pokemon. One that I really like is it's not like super powerful or anything, but like Vivillon from X and Y. I really like that one because I really got into the global trading on X and Y to get all the different variants of Vivillon, and I thought that was like a really cool gimmick. And a really cool way to get people trading globally. Remember, like certain patterns were only available in certain parts of the world, so then I was going through that global search and the global link on the game to try to find people to trade with in other parts of the world. It was really cool. Really got you into that portion of the game. Nope, her eyes are doing something weird. So funny, sometimes you're zoomed in and you're drawing and then you zoom out and you're like, whoa, that's not where I thought it was. Get her bit finished off there. Sort of up a little bit. It's a little wonky. Alright, let's see. Oh, let me see. Did I see your request? Yeah, no, I saw them. I definitely saw them. I don't know if you were off when I was talking about it, but I was saying I'll probably do. Wait, Sandal, are you back from the ads? That way I'm not talking to the ads. But if you're back, I was saying I'll probably end up leaning towards the DDS. Because Digital Devil Saga is definitely like some of my favorites. So we'll see when I get there. To that portion, I will decide which one I want to go with, Persona or DDS. But chances are high for DDS. I don't think that game gets enough love as it is anyway. I'd love a remaster of that. Maybe that's Raidu gives me hope that maybe DDS will get some love as well. You can only hope. I mean, it's definitely one of the best Shin Megami Tensei games. Anyway, it deserves a refreshing and the availability to play it on modern consoles, in my opinion. Hey, I love seeing. Hey, Marcus, what's up? I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what part of the universe Marcus is on. You mention DDS, and Marcus will show up. It's like a summoning flute. You mention DDS, and Marcus will be there. Yeah, we're definitely talking some DDS over here. We got a DDS request, which makes me infinitely happy. I will never say no to a DDS request. Well, I'll never say no to any Shin Megami Tensei request, to be honest. Although I'll tell you, I can draw Demi-Fiend, I can draw Raidu, I can draw like Odin or any of those. But for some reason, you try to get me to draw freaking Jack Frost, and I just cannot. I don't know why. So he's the simplest out of all of them, and he gives me the hardest time. I think it's just that super simple face that just, I don't know why I can't just wrap my brain around it. It's making me stutter just thinking about it. Welcome back, Marcus. Haven't seen you in a little bit. I know the time zones are really wonky with you. So thank you for stopping in. No need to apologize. With what Jack Frost? Any Jack Frost. Well, any Jack. Yeah, I don't know why. Just that little Atlas face just kills me. I cannot, for whatever reason. I have the same issue with slimes. Like, just, I don't know, it's just those really simple designs that just give me the hardest freaking time. And I cannot understand why. Marcus, I hope life has been screwed up and crazy in a good way, or a mess. I guess not screwed up, but a mess. Hey, Feraligatr, what is up? Wait, let me see. Let me catch up on this chat because I think I missed one and it's under the screen there with Feraligatr. I didn't see you. Let me see. Feraligatr, there you are. So, let me see. Pictures involved. You're tattooing circles. Yeah, circles are. There's just something about just simple circles that is just an absolute nightmare. I can just imagine tattooing. I have a hard time on an iPad, and at least this has like a guide thing that you can just do it. Oh, drops. That's funny. I don't ever get to see the ads on my end, so I don't know what ads run. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. Eye drops make sense though. We do spend a lot of time staring at screens. Makes me think of the old Visine commercials with what was his name? No, was it? No, it was Clear Eyes. It was Clear Eyes commercials. I can't remember his name now. Somebody help me out. Yeah, that really dry voice, like real monotone. There's a teacher on Ferris Bueller. What was his name? Feraligatr, do you have a request for today? Or Marcus? Have I said hi to everybody? If you popped in and I didn't say hi, throw a message there so I can see you. Unless you're lurking. I want to see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Sometimes I get to staring at this iPad while I'm drawing and I forget to look up at the comments. At the chat. More like. Right, Evil Cowboy? Why? I cannot remember what his name is. I feel like it's like Bill something, or I can't remember. So then I got Bill Nye the Science Guy stuck in my head, and that's definitely not the guy. I'm glad you're doing okay, Feraligatr. You're doing good. Oh, and you're asking about what Jack Frost. We're talking about Jack Frost from the Persona Shin Megami Tensei games. Not Jack Frost. Not the one from the horror movie. Terrible, terrible horror movie. Workout Peach is coming out peachy, I think, so far. We'll see. We'll see how she ends up. Picked up some comics today, so it was a good day. I'm gonna read those tonight before I go to bed. Try to do a little more Expedition 33. I beat the game yesterday, which was incredible. So now I just want to do some more stuff just to work towards that platinum trophy. I think that'll be really good. I'll be happy to have that on my collection of platinums. Well, very small collection of platinums. I'm not a programmer, y'all. Einstein, Evil Cowboy, you're right. That's it. See, I was close with the B. I got so excited. Seconds. I thought it was, yeah, Ben Stein. That is his name. That guy. Clear Eyes commercials. Back to the ads. That's what we were talking about. That was 1,000 years ago. Thank you, because I was gonna stay up all night trying to think of his name. One of those guys is like, we'll wait until I've been driven almost absolutely mad before I Google the answer to something like that, because I really would rather remember. Especially because my brain is not so great, so I try to rely as much as I can on the old brain box. Just to exercise it here and there, but sometimes I end up having to Google. Marcus, have you been doing any of your drawings? I know you're trying to keep up with some daily stuff, and no judgment if you haven't, obviously. Trying to think of some more bug Pokemon that I really dig on. I really like the old schools like Pinsir, Heracross. Trying to think of some newer ones. I really definitely like Centiskorch. That's a really cool one. I'm a sucker for a fire type anyway, so. You have to make it pretty lame for me to not like it if it's a fire type. Oh, is Bisharp, is he considered steel type, or is he bug steel type? I can't remember his typing. I like him. Steel, right? I wasn't sure if it was like a dual type. Yeah, Pinsir's great. Yeah, me too. Although they did have like a cool for Pinsir and Metagross, they had a really cool the Mega Evolutions for them. That looked really cool. But yeah, they never got like a legit Evo. But Scyther is probably my forever favorite. Because I know like Caesar, is he Bug and Steel, right? The evolution of Scyther. Pardon me if I'm mispronouncing any of them. I usually end up reading their names more than I end up hearing them. So sometimes with my Latin upbringing, in Spanish being my first language, I always default to all sounds being a, e, I, o, u on vowels. So then it becomes a little tricky sometimes because there's so many different sounds for vowels in English, and so I'll mispronounce the heck out of stuff. So if I'm saying it wrong, just give me a correction, maybe phonetic, in the chat. It's Dark Steel, okay. I thought he'd lost his bug, or he never was a bug. He looks like a bug. The male-female versions of words, yeah. Yeah, it's it's something that's weird. And I never thought about it till I learned to speak English, and that wasn't something that was done in English, that things didn't have. Because it is weird, because you're assigning like a gender to like an inanimate object. But yeah, that is a thing we do. And I really don't know who it is that decided what things are male and what things are female. Now, other languages do it too. I don't know if every language does it, but I know like French will have like some words that are different based on whether it's male or female. Now, I don't know if they do like the gendering of inanimate objects like Spanish does. Can't remember, it's been a while since I got to flex my French. But yeah, I don't know who decided like car is male, but truck is female. But it's I don't know why, but like when you speak the language, you never really think about it. It just kind of how it is. It just makes sense, I guess. And I'm starting to do, I don't know if y'all were here when we were talking about it earlier, but I'm starting to do my VODs on YouTube. So like if you ever miss a stream, not like it's can't miss TV or anything, but if you ever miss one and you want to catch up or need to put something on to like vibe in the background or I don't know, fall asleep to, they'll be on YouTube as well. So you'll have them there as well if you want to. I'm trying as well as I can that when I do each stream, I'll try to have something new or something different to offer y'all. Till I run out of ideas or can't figure out what else to do. Right, let's fix the top of her head. You know, Princess Peach makes sense as like an aerobics workout girl because her hairstyle is just so 80s. Further out on this one. And then she will be all ready. Trying to think of some other thing I could give her to. Let's just give her like a little gem on her headband. All right, and there is aerobic workout Princess Peach. Request number 1 complete. Perfect. All right, one down. Next one will be Poochy with the Cain Chomp. I've got the yarn Poochy. I've got all the yarn amiibos. I really like the yarn ones. The yarn ones are the only ones that I never opened. Well, I kept a couple of them boxed up of the amiibos, but the yarn ones for sure are amiibos that I kept boxed up because I didn't want the yarn to get all dusty and then to get all kind of grody looking. So I left them in their boxes. Oh, that's a bummer you missed that one. Did you get the big one? The big yarn Yoshi, that Toys R Us exclusive one? That's probably my favorite one. I just realized Poochy doesn't have any ears. That's crazy. Nintendo does have a weird thing, or a thing with weird looking dogs. Oh, those were cute too, though, those little ones. Yeah, I used to go when Toys R Us was open here. I used to go like all the time just to see what was new, and I didn't know that giant wool Yoshi was coming out. I was collecting all the amiibos. I have every single amiibo except for the new stuff, the Switch 2 ones. Just because, man, I don't like those prices on those new amiibos. They're so expensive. But I got really lucky with that Mega Yarn Yoshi because, you know, it just happened to be there and there was a line, and I was like, what's the line for? And they're like, oh, we got the Mega Yarn Yoshi coming out today. So I was like, do you have enough? And I said, yeah. So I called a friend of mine because he was collecting amiibos too. And we lined up and waited for them to put them out. So I really lucked out on that one. Because I think they sold out like immediately. Like they had enough people waiting there that they were gone. Now in my area, since way before the markets that we have now, this area has always been very scalper heavy. I mean, as far as I can remember, it's been difficult to find things here, like especially video games, because, you know, probably since the dawn of eBay, there's been scalpers just buying everything here. Or like you go to GameStop to find a used game and you couldn't find it, because especially if it was something a little more rare, because the scalpers were always picking everything up. Like I went to an estate sale the other day and they had like a whole box of video games, and this guy just bought the whole box. And you know, he has a little kid with him, and the little kid is like, what are we buying all these for? It's like, so I mean, they're obviously not for the little kid. And he had his phone out, like checking the prices before he bought them. It's like, dude, that's rude, man. Let other people that might actually enjoy that thing look at it. But there's a lot of people here that's pretty much how they make their living. So when you're looking for anything like Pokemon cards or anything like that, it's just impossible in my area. Which, you know, sucks for me as a collector, but I feel really bad for, you know, the target audience, which is supposed to be the kids. Well, I can definitely believe you not being able to afford stuff working at GameStop. That place paid so little. I don't know if that's still the case, but good grief. They paid just the absolute minimum. It was a good place. It was the first place I was a manager, so it gave me some good experience. And I was able to take elsewhere. You know, when I tap the eraser and then it doesn't quite take. Yeah. Yeah, there's some good people that work at GameStop for sure. I mean, you know, it's all gamers. But yeah, I remember it being really great until they bought out EB Games. And then at that point, then it kind of became like a totally different kind of situation. I had some good times there for sure. Sadly, I don't really speak to anybody that I met there. I've got friends that I worked with there, but they were kind of friends before GameStop anyway. This Poochy sure is a silly guy. Wonder who designed Poochy. They're like, how about a dog with no nose, no ears, big clown lips? Reminds me of like the Jinx lips. Speaking of Pokemon. Alrighty. I think that's it, right? Alrighty. There is Poochy with a Cain Chomp tail. It's cute. I like him. Yeah, at least he has 4 legs. Thanks. Yeah, I like Poochy. He's cute. Let's take Poochy. We'll put him up here for now. And he will come. All right. So here we go. Poochy with Cain Chomp tail is done. So now, ooh, Digital Devil Saga. All right, Sandal, Marcus, if y'all are still on. Any particular character that you would like to see? Well, I know who Marcus would request. Curious if y'all have a particular one, or Dogs are over there dreaming. I like when dogs bark in their dream. I think it's so cute. Makes me wonder what they're dreaming about. Probably chasing squirrels or something like that. So I think I'm gonna try to do. Ooh, thank you everybody. I just noticed I hit my follower goal. Thank you for helping me out with that. I did the 80 followers. That's awesome. That's exciting. I wonder if I can hit 100 before too long. Thank you to everybody that's been sharing and stuff. It's been nice getting people in here. I know a lot of people don't really see like all the posts, so that's always appreciated. So I think I'm gonna do. Should I do Cielo or Gail? I'll think on that. Cielo or Gail. Google it if you're not sure what they look like. You can just Google digital Devil Saga characters or anything like that. And I will be right back. I'm gonna get me I forgot to grab me a drink, so I'm gonna get me a cold drink and be back to draw Cielo or Gail. I'll pick between those two. Alrighty, hey, hello. Oh, no worries. Feel free to keep it muted. Also, feel free to oh, I can draw S101X. Feel free to make a request, drop it in the comments if you'd like, or if you're just looking, welcome. Feraligatr, I will be happy to draw Feraligatr. Let's add it to the list. Feraligatr. Perfect. I'll be happy to do that. And so the digital Devol Saga games, there's 2 of them. So there's 2 of them that came out on PS2. A little history lesson today. They came out with this kind of box set so that when the second one came out, you could put them both in the same box, like it had an empty slot. so that you could put in your second game. But I have all kinds of other junk in there. So they had come out with, and I really liked the covers, at least in the US, the covers went together. So it looked really cool. And then they have the soundtracks for Digital Devil Saga 2 and 1. Those are like pre-order, I think. This is a cool pre-order. It was a skin for your PlayStation 2 controller. And I've actually still have, because I got a few of these because I was at GameStop at the time. I've still got sorry, I had to dig it out of the controller drawer, but I've still got my smoke gray controller that I've always used on my PS2 since way back in the day. And I have it skinned with that Digital Devil Saga skin. So I really like it. But I've had this controller forever. I mean, this was like my PS2 controller that I used when the PS2 was a current console. So it's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Digital Devil Saga. I think those are definitely some of the best Shin Megami games. Oh, and here's a little blast from the past also. So this was, if y'all don't mind me digressing a little bit with DDS, this guy here is the 2005 product catalog for Atlas. So they had sent this to the stores so that we could kind of know about the upcoming games. So they had like Digital Devil Saga and then Digital Devil Saga 2, and it would give you kind of like a snippet of what the game is about and everything, and have a couple of screenshots so that we could talk to our customers. Stella Deuce, which was one that I actually never played, and I probably should because it looks pretty cool. Like, I really like the art style and everything. Let me know if you've played it or if I butchered the name. And Samurai Western was another one that Atlas was putting out, which I never got around to on PS2. Magna Carta, that's a classic one. And Snowboard Kids. I don't know if y'all remember, but Jack Frost was a playable character, I think in what, Snowboard Kids 2, I think, or 3, one of those. Trauma Center, Under the Knife, classic Nintendo DS game. That was such a good one. I love Trauma Center. A little Puyo Pot Fever. Oh yeah, Evil Cowboy, the Shin Megami with Dante, that was Nocturne. So yeah, Dante was a little bonus character they threw in there, which was pretty cool. It's Shin Megami Tensei 3, but Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2 never came out in the US, so they just named it Shin Megami Tensei when it came out or Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne when it came out in the US, because they don't want to be confusing for people, and people start wondering, well, where's 1 and 2? There's another one, Riviera, The Promised Land. This was for the Game Boy Advance. And Super Army War, also for the Game Boy Advance. And then there's the infamous Jack Frost. I just have such a hard time drawing this little hee-ho guy. I don't know why. I have the hardest time with this little jerk. He's so simple. Like, it's just such a simple, basic design, and I just struggle with him. put all this back in its cases, and then we'll get back to drawing now that I got to geek out on Digital Devil Saga for a little bit. Alrighty, so did we decide Gail? I guess Gail will be the one. So I'll do Gail from Digital Devil Saga, and then we'll do Feraligatr from Pokemon. I really like the art style of the DDS games. Well, all the Shin Megami Tensei games, they all have the same artist. Something about the way they looked on Digital Devil Saga was really cool. Try to do it a little bit in the original style. Line guide to help me out with these lines and try to keep everything square. So go here. It's something I think it's a bad habit that I picked up when I used to draw as a kid. I always liked drawing on lined paper, and so I think I trained my brain to need the lines. So in this game, unlike some of the other ones where you can control demons or command them or all that kind of stuff, you were demons. Like, you would consume your enemies and stuff like that. It was pretty crazy stuff. But little touches like this open zipper, right? but it looked like an open mouth. So it looked like a little monster mouth. Little touches like that really speak volumes of that character design. Should be any tinier. Trying to find references for Cielo's costume here. I'll zoom into this. There we go. Clean it up here in a sec. Let me first make it a little smaller so it's not quite taking up so much room. There we go. Anybody got any plans for tonight? Like what's for dinner? You going out? Do you stay in usually on weeknights to not to stay out too late on a work night or school night? I guess it's not school night for anybody, everybody's in summertime. Alright, now we'll do a little cleanup here. These lines make them look nice. Yeah, buddy, we'll cut way back to your first Shin Megami Tensei. I think that was, at least in the US, pretty much everybody's introduction to the series. Because like I was saying earlier, the first two only came out in Japan. They there's I have the first two, but I have like the original Super Famicom versions, and then I have fan translation cartridges that came out on the Super Nintendo. But Atlas has yet to do an official release of Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2, or if in the US. So their first US release was Shin Megami Tensei 3, which they called Nocturne on the PS2. My first introduction to those games was Persona on the PS1, like the OG Persona. And I fell in love with it. Definitely very different from modern Persona. But it's still very good. But they're more kind of along the lines of the kind of dungeon crawler style of the Shin Megami Tensei games. They were actually originally called Shin Megami Tensei Persona. And they were a spin-off, but then Persona ended up becoming more popular than Shin Megami Tensei, so. But the original was even called Revelations Persona here in the US. Hey, Ebik, how are you? I didn't see you come in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah. I like to stay in. I like to stay in when I can too. It's nice. Plus, like on the weekends, everybody wants to hang out, so it's nice to be able to kind of chill on a weeknight. Iwakawa is reading. Let me see. Cooked a big dinner last night, so free Happy Meal tonight. Heck yeah. Big dinner sounds good. I had a steak dinner last night that was yummy. I like cooking the steak on a cast iron skillet. I think it tastes really good. need to repurchase a grill. Got rid of the grill on the last move. Kind of miss having it. Had a smoker and a grill, and it was nice being able to smoke a brisket now and then. Or grill a steak outdoors. This summer would have been nice to have one because it's kind of been, at least for here, it's been a really mild summer. Usually by this time of the summer we're hitting like 110, 115 degrees. In the Fahrenheit. Don't ask me what that is in Celsius, y'all. I'm terrible at conversions. Yeah, this year, the winter was really mild too. Not that winters are usually hardcore where I live, but it's been the last couple of years we've had a little bit of a freeze, which has been, you know, really crazy for us. We're not built for it, and thankfully we didn't have anything like that this year. Details on his little circles here. On his rotary phone on his head. Do I have any people old enough to have used rotary phones like regularly, like in real life? They're not as retro tech. I used to hate dialing 9s and 0s on those. Because it'll take forever. But phone numbers were a lot shorter back then, too, so it wasn't crazy, but still sucked when you had a 9 or a 0. Especially when there's multiple 9s or 0s. It's the original first world problems, I guess. Such beautiful character design. I can never get over how these characters look. They're a joy to draw just because they're so well made. The only thing I ever worry about is butchering them. Glad y'all picked yellow because then I didn't have to worry about all that hair. Those dreadlocks. And I spent the rest of the stream doing that. You're not yellow, Gail. Cielo is the one that I would have been here all day doing. That looks pretty okay. Oh, let me see. Oh, you're in Canada, yeah, so. Wow, so you didn't have any snow this year? That's pretty wild. When I think of Canada, I think of snow. Your grandma had a rotary phone. Oh, I feel so old. Some windows over here. Get my next reference. Let's see. So we're gonna do. Oh, I think I'm just typing stuff in the chat. Sorry about that. Hey, Mr. Final Fantasy, welcome back. Thank you. You can be a vampire. But I remember using the rotary phone. I guess, I mean, we were living in my grandma's house, so I guess my grandma also was the one with the rotary phone. I didn't have one myself. Now that I'm looking at it, I need to add a little. Let's stretch this out a little bit. My head was looking a little flat. That's a little better. It's funny, sometimes when I look at it on the screen, it looks so different than what I'm looking at on the iPad, because it's, y'all can tell, like I'm sitting this way, but my iPad is this way. So sometimes when I'm drawing, the perspective is kind of crooked, but I can't draw like this. Like I can't draw with the iPad lined up with me. So it's a weird thing that I've always had. So when you look at my drawings, sometimes they look a little, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to crack that open right in front of the mic. They look a little bit crooked when you look at them the right way, like straight on. All right, so now let's do a Feraligatr for Feraligatr. One of my favorite Pokemon. I think he's super cool looking. I was going through my Pokemon cards and I found an old Feraligatr that's actually like one of my more valuable cards in my collection. I was really surprised that some of these cards are the old e-reader cards. Like I kept that set. Do y'all want to see it? We'll look for a good reference for Feraligatr while we. I think I'm gonna do. Try to do my own poses when I can, but definitely like to look at reference pictures just so I don't mess anything up on character design. Evil Cowboy, give me 1 second, let me grab my cards. I'm back. That didn't take very long. Keep on my spot. Pretty organized in the game room, so it doesn't usually take me a long time to find anything. So this is the Feraligatr card. So it's the ultra. So they had like different e-readers. Oh, I figure out where the card is for the camera. So they had a set that was like the extra rare ones. They had the gold E. So there's regular rarity ones that had a blue E, and then the super duper rares had the gold E. And if you can tell, he's the holofoil. So you can see the holofoil markings on him. Real shiny, real pretty. But that's the Feraligatr. It's a really cool card. I think I have the regular Feraligatr too, somewhere in this binder. That's not the super rare. But this one, I think on this set, like this is the second most valuable one on this set. I think the number one is actually this, it's another secret rare, super rare, whatever you call it, holofoil Gengar. So if y'all have the collector app, I have all my cards loaded on collector. If y'all ever want to look at the collection, just send me a message on Blue Sky, and I will do like a friend request so we can look at each other's collections. So I do like that aspect of being able to see everybody's stuff, and just gonna look at people's cards. And I do have cards on there that I have for sale or for trade in different portfolios. So if y'all are ever looking for cards, I have them listed on that collector app, which is pretty fun. You worked at a Pokemon card kiosk? You had like the coolest jobs. That's really cool. I got that one when I was still at GameStop, because I was that's when the e-reader came out and all those e-reader cards. So that was pretty cool. I was into those cards. I still have like all those. I still have my e-reader, and then all those like Excite Bike and Donkey Kong and all those little card games that you could swipe and play the NES games on your GameCube. Well, on your Game Boy Advance, but I have the Game Boy Advance player on GameCube, so because I prefer playing it on TV whenever I can. On the handhelds, I like to have that option, especially those older systems because they're so little. It's a really cool looking Pokemon. I really like Feraligatr. Draw a line here. Yeah, for sure. Saved on batteries, and I was kind of hooked on that the Wavebird. And that Wavebird controller was so cool. I still have my Wavebird too. I still plug in my GameCube and play some of those games. Because I've got and I have like those versions of like where you could plug in the handheld to the console on all of them. So I have like the Super Game Boy, and that you could pop into your Super Nintendo. So all that kind of stuff. I enjoyed all those devices. Way before the Switch, I like playing my games in handheld mode and TV mode. We should have found something that had this pose, because I'm trying to figure out. Everything has his head angled down. I'm trying to find something with his head angled up so I can see what I should tackle his mouth there. Here's one for the show. This bed here. Pretty cool that you worked. So the kiosk that you worked at was all they did was sell Pokemon cards? That's pretty neat. Give Feraligatr a little personality here. I'm surprised stuff like that kiosk hasn't come back with the popularity of Pokemon nowadays. Although I guess the cards are, even the shops that sell those cards, they have such a hard time keeping them in stock. Guess it would be pretty difficult to run a little kiosk like that nowadays. Hey Materia, what is up? That is a DDS character that you see. Absolutely. Good old Gail. I did a little DDS showcase a little while ago, showing off my little bit of my collection there. But I was saying earlier, I'm going to be putting these up on VOD, so if you want to check it out later, you probably skip to where I pulled out my DDS games. I had a couple collectibles, DDS collectibles from the time. Just random stuff. So I had a few other little trinkets, mostly cards. Oh man, that's cool. So then you got to rip some, and then that's what they do now at the comic shops for sure. Is they rip them and then they sell the high prices on them. Little glass cabinets. I know there's a shop over here that sells cards, and they've got so many just boxes of like commons and uncommons and stuff, because I think they rip so many packs, and that's kind of where they're hard to find too. Not just the scalpers buying everything, but like you have like the shops themselves like opening so much of the product to sell the individuals at such a high price, such a high markup, that makes it hard to find the product. Even GameStop's getting into it now. I noticed the other day I went to a GameStop and they had Pokemon singles. I'm like, man, so y'all don't have any to sell, but you're opening them up to sell the singles. Just kind of a sad state when the stores themselves have gotten into the scalping markups and all that stuff. Like, you know, I used to be able to, if you found something in the wild, you could buy it for MSRP, but like I went to the comic shop today and I was looking for Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering packs, like the boosters, you know, the regular ones, and they're selling those for $10 a booster. It's like, that's not the regular price, y'all. They're marking them up, which, I mean, I guess they're running a business, they can do what they want, but it kind of sucks for the consumer. Then you can't avoid the scalper price. Like, you're gonna pay the store scalper price, or you're gonna pay the scalper price. Oh, Hot Topic. You know what? That's interesting. Um, you're gonna order what you want on like what, like the packs, or like you're gonna order like singles? Sometimes ordering the singles is better. I need to look at Hot Topic. No, again, the Hot Topic is in my town, so I bet they're sold out. The scalping culture is just so ingrained here in where I live. Yeah. Oh, the singles of Nate Lego. Yeah, I haven't seen them here, but I'm actually gonna hit a shop tomorrow. I'll keep an eye out for you, because I'm gonna hit a shop tomorrow that they usually have a lot of singles of like Pokemon and Magic. Maybe they'll have it there. I'll see if they have any Legos there for you. I know the shop I went to yesterday did not have it, but they did have like the Cinder Scorch ones. Hey, Mr. Final Fantasy, I am doing great. How about you, Mark? You doing well? How are your adventures in Death Stranding 2 coming along? Oh, this game treating you well? Is it being difficult? I'm thinking now that I'm putting the finishing touches on whatchamacallit, Expedition 33. So I finished it yesterday, but I want to knock out the trophies. But I think I'm gonna do Death Stranding next. We'll see. I'm trying to decide whether I want to do that or like a horror game of some kind. Because I still need to finish Silent Hill 2 remake and Alan Wake remastered. What do y'all think? Death Stranding or a scary game? Ooh, maybe even finish like Resident Evil 7 for the first time, since it scared me so bad the first time I never finished it. Still on chapter 1, man. That is a heck of a game. Yeah. Yeah, I think for sure Resident Evil 7. Well, the first Alan Wake is the one that's been sitting staring at me the longest, but Resident Evil 7 has been bothering me because I've finished every other Resident Evil except that one. Well, except that one and Code Veronica. Code Veronica just because it made me so mad that I still have not picked it up again. I tried picking it up again at one point, but I was like, man, these tank controls are killing me. But I had a situation in Code Veronica where I screwed up I ruined my save file. It was me. It was my fault. The game didn't do anything wrong, but I never picked it back up again. I had to freak out. Didn't want to lose my. What happened was I was pretty much out of ammo and I was pretty much out of health, and there was a hunter coming after me, and I was running from it, and I went into a room that was a save room. So I was like, oh, thank goodness I can save here. And then that way I don't lose my last 2 hours of progress. Well, what happened was that every time I opened the door after that, the hunter was just sitting outside waiting for me and would knock my head off. And there was nothing I can do, and there was no ammo. I had no healing herbs. I had nothing. So to not lose, and I was like pretty far into disc 2 at that point on the Dreamcast. So basically ruined the whole playthrough to not lose 2 hours. Pretty annoying. I know y'all say make multiple save files. I know. I just don't do it. I'm sorry, I am absolutely hating how Feraligatr's turning out, so I am going to reboot that. Goodbye, Feraligatr. I'll come back to you. Oh no, what was that other request? I didn't write it down. It's Feraligatr. What else was it? I might do RE7, and then if I'm still feeling really gutsy, I'll go back to Silent Hill 2. I think that's what I might do. Oh, thank you, Evic, for contributing to the Scare Me to Death challenge. So I don't know if y'all can see the challenges. Can y'all see the challenges? Because I don't know how all this works. But I have a challenge on there that y'all can, I guess, donate bits to it. And if if we get enough of those bits, I think I set it up for a month, and if I get enough bits in there, then I will actually play the scare game. I'll play it on stream, so y'all can watch me cry. Um, so I'm a real chicken on these games, especially if y'all make me play something like Resident Evil or Silent Hill. I'm gonna be chickening out. So I don't know, Ebik, can you help us out? Or Materia Keeper, I see that you also contributed. Um, so and then what I'll do is I will put up. I think I can put up a poll, um, but I will. Well, tap the little round thingy by the chat box. Oh, there you go. Ebik and Materia Keeper, what are your suggestions for scare game? I'm gonna write them down real quick. Ooh, thank you, Evil Cowboy. And Evil Cowboy, what's your suggestion? So, Evil Cowboy, you think RE7? And then Materia Keeper, you're saying SH2? Is that what y'all would like to see me cry about? Okay, RE7 for Evil Cowboy. Ebik either one, Materia either one, or Materia. Are you thinking Silent Hill? Yeah, and you know, Mr. Final Fantasy, what I did. Okay, sorry, 7. So, you know what I did that I think I really screwed myself up for life on RE7? The first time I played it, I had just gotten my PS4 VR, and oh, nice, Evil Cowboy. I see you found the Bob Ross of the Dead emote. Very nice. RE9 is going to be really good, I think. And I loved RE8. Oh, but so I had just gotten my VR for PS4 when I started, and then I realized that you could play Resident Evil 7 in VR. So I was like, well, you know what? Let me just play it in VR the first time I play it. Like a real genius. And I hadn't played a lot of VR games before that. Um, and oh my goodness, that was so freaking scary, y'all. Like, I hated it. It was so scary. It was too much. Because not only was it in first person already, but it was in VR. So, like, that was just too much. Too much. So, ever since then, I've been, like, really afraid to play it. I'll try to do this Feraligatr one more time. In the meantime, can y'all help me out? Let me try to scroll up here and see. Yeah, it was intense. You know, and I was getting a little motion sick too on the VR. Just moving around, climbing ladders and stuff like that. Like I was like, ooh, but I loved how you could like totally look around and like look closer at stuff and like that pot that you find in the kitchen, you could like look into it. I thought that was so crazy. Um, so that was like so intense. But yeah, it was way too much. Like I was already having a hard time with the shift to first person. Um, so yeah, so y'all get to I guess y'all will get to see me cry playing Resident Evil 7. Well, that's cool. Your husband's name is Ethan, so that works out. Sure. Oh yeah, because they say his name too. Like I'm sure that was yeah. They say Ethan a lot in that game, so I'm sure that was pretty intense. Did I have another request after Feraligatr? I can't remember if I had another request after Feraligatr. Thank you, Mr. Final Fantasy. I'm sure y'all will be very entertained watching me play it. I'll have to reconfigure, I guess, my setup and figure it out. I'll be playing it on PlayStation. Um, so I'll figure that out and figure out when I'll do that stream. It'll be like a different day for my art streams, maybe like on a Thursday or something like that. Or do y'all prefer weekdays, weekends? Y'all tell me. I feel like most people are like doing stuff on the weekends, so maybe weekends would not be good, but maybe like I could do that on a Thursday and do it for like a few hours. Now y'all be ready because I'm gonna be moving real slow because I'm gonna be real scared. So just be ready for a relaxing pace. Resident Evil 7 playthrough. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go. Been trying to find like some cool like reference pictures for Feraligatr, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the collector TCG app here and just look up Feraligatr and look up some card arts, and I'll use that for reference because the cards have some really cool. Oh man, that's a cool one. Cards have some really cool art. So I'll try to use a card art for the Feraligatr drawing here. Is there truly not a full art Feraligatr card? That seems like a big whiff. You'd think there'd be a full art. That's crazy. I don't even see like a Feraligatr EX. For my TCG players out here, is there a Feraligatr EX card? All I see is a regular Feraligatr. Huh, that's interesting. You'd think they'd at least have a EX. Oh no, there's an EX here. But just like one? That's nuts. I like the way he looks in this card. I'm going to use this card and then mix it with another card art. Kind of make it. But I like this head pose. And then I'll kind of mix it with like because I want to do like a standing body pose. Ooh, y'all, I'm scared now. I'm nervous about my Resident Evil playthrough. We'll see though. I've heard some streamers talk about playing horror games, and they say playing horror games is a little easier when you're doing it on stream than it is when you're doing it solo, because you're not by yourself, you know. Which makes perfect sense. Yeah, the X card is really cool. Um, ooh, a choice later in the game. I am interested now. I like choices. Although sometimes making a choice in a game is the most crippling fear that I have. Like, I'll sit there and contemplate for a while, like, what choice should I make? So you definitely will see gameplay slow down quite a bit at that point, if there's a choice. Well, now I kind of want to start collecting Feraligatr cards. I'm kind of sad that I don't see any full art. Maybe they'll put one out eventually. When I kept my collection, I kept all my e-reader cards because I sold pretty much all my cards many years ago. I used to have like thousands of them, but I kept all my e-reader cards because I still had my e-reader, so I wanted to keep anything that worked with the e-reader. And then I just kept the cards for like my favorite Pokemon. So I kept like all my Pikachu cards, and I kept all my Charizard cards. Um, Anything like Alakazam or Gengar or anything like that. I kept Mewtwo, Mew, all my Gen 1 faves. I had a friend of mine, he went out to a garage sale. And at the garage sale, and this was, of course, before Pokemon carts blew up like they did now, like they have now, but at the garage sale, they were selling unopened booster boxes that they had bought, and clearly they had no idea what those were worth, even back then, of the jungle set. And he bought he bought all those booster boxes. I think he paid like nothing for them. He bought them like $30 a booster box or something like that, like cheaper than you would have bought them retail. And I know he like ended up selling a couple of them online, but then keeping a few and like opening them with his son. I was so jealous. I was like, what a freaking find. That's insane. It's like winning the lottery. Yeah, Jungle had some cool stuff. I like those old card styles. Like I look at like Magic cards now and everything, and they're so like clean and pretty now, but I kind of like just, I don't know, the grittiness of the old cards. Something about that old style I really dig. All right, let's see. So get a, yeah, I'm a little happier with that. This Feraligator's looking versus the last one. I was not happy with that last one. So still give me a little bit of a hard time, but not as bad. So I need that to be like right there. I'd have to add Feraligator to my list of things that I have a hard time drawing. This guy's definitely giving me some drama. Feraligator might have stumped me today. We'll see though. I'm not giving up. Maybe I'm definitely a fire type, so he would be my weakness. Maybe that's why he's giving me such a hard time. He's super effective. good. I like his head there. Let's see what I want to do for his body. So I think for his body, I want to do something a little bit like almost like a Godzilla type pose. So something with his claws. And then we'll go down his body. And we'll bring his tail up like that. Like that. It's a cool pose. Alright, so let's get some reference on what his tummy looks like. Ooh, I like this. This is much better than the last one. I'm glad I reset. Sometimes you just gotta reset. Start fresh and not keep fighting yourself on the drawing. Fingers. Oh, Feraligatr has 5 fingers. Okay. I don't know why I thought he had 4. So I'll clean him up a bit here. Gail, I'm so excited to finally have gotten done with Expedition 33. I swear I was stuck on that last part. Not stuck, but I hadn't like sat down and played my PlayStation and so long that I sat there because I was like, I knew that I was really close to the end. And I was sitting there and I was like, I don't want it to become one of those games that just sits in my backlog and then I never finish, because I really was enjoying the story quite a bit. So I made the decision last night, or yesterday morning, to just rip the band-aid. I was like, I wanted to get the platinum, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna play it, and then if I need to replay the whole game, then I'll do that and get the platinum at that point. But I'm glad I decided to go ahead and do it. I did not need to be relegated to the island of misfit toys of all the games that I've gotten right to the end and never finished. I deserve better than that. Are there any games like that like you really loved, and then for one reason or another you just never got around to finishing it because something else came out or something came up in life that you never got to finish it, and then you just never got back to it? But it wasn't not finished because you didn't like it, it's just because of whatever reason, but you really loved it. I've got a few games like that in my backlog that are just like right near the end. Yeah, Materia, I feel you so many times. It's the worst. That's how I have to phrase it too. So many times. Too many times. Especially with something else shiny came out. That's a problem that we're having a lot nowadays. I feel like there's been so many good games, like an insane amount of it, just incredible games. So you don't want to miss out on that initial thing where everybody's playing it, so then you stop playing the one that you're currently on, even though it's incredible, because another new incredible game came out. And you end up with a stack of unfinished incredible games. Or the worst stack, many incredible games came out at the same time, and then you have the stack of incredible games that you haven't even touched yet. have a few of those in my backlog of shame, like Unicorn Overlord is on my backlog of shame that I know is an incredible game, but I just haven't gotten around to playing. There's one that I can think of right off the top of my head. You guys want to go outside? Sorry, the dogs are pouting. They wanted to go out, so they like to get that sun. So you purchased FF8 when they first released it on Switch. You played it for about an hour, got overwhelmed. Yeah, I could see that. I haven't played 8 since it came out originally, but some mechanics become really hard, especially when we get used to like quality of life changes with modern games. They kind of get a little outdated. Yeah, but I could see FF8 maybe being a little more difficult to play with them. Now, did the one on Switch? Did they make quality of life changes like they did with the other ones? Like I think Final Fantasy VII had where you could like speed up combat and things like that. Or I think they even had it to where you could even, because I think the hardest thing for RPGs back then was how often you would hit random encounters. So it's like sometimes some areas of like, man, I'm stuck in this area forever because I just can't move forward because every 2 steps there's a battle. I know like some of the remakes or like pixel remasters or whatnot, I think they have all those kind of quality of life updates. But 8 had that really kind of complex system. What was it even called? I can't even remember. You could really screw up your playthrough if you didn't build your characters right. But I remember really loving 8. It was one of those Final Fantasy games have that ability though to kind of get some tears out of me when those final credits roll, like you're saying goodbye to good friends. First time I cried in a game was Final Fantasy VI. It was my first RPG. And I remember when those final credits rolled, I was blubbering. Because I just loved all those characters so much. You know, it's one of those you just didn't want it to end. Hey, Sandal. No worries. Hopefully, you got sleepy from the mellow vibes of the stream. Well, welcome back. Good to have you. good to have everybody. If I haven't said hi, or if you popped in and I didn't see you pop in, say hello. And I'll give you a proper greeting. Apologize if I didn't see you come on. I always like to say hi to everybody if they're wanting to say hi, just because I feel like, we're hanging out. And if you came by my house, I would be mortified if I didn't say hello to you. Although I guess if you're sneaking into my house, that would be a whole different situation. Yeah, I like this Feraligatr much, much more, y'all. What do y'all think? Better than the first one? Really glad I gave up on that first one. It was making me mad. Well, as mad as I get. Definitely no Kratos or anything. Ooh, 10 was your first one? Oh, let me see. Squall, Irvin, yeah, Zell. That's a great party. 10 was your first FF. That is an amazing, amazing place to start for sure. Yeah, 6 was my first, and it was 3 here in the US because they had decided, Square Enix had decided that American audiences were not smart enough for RPGs. So, which I guess makes sense because I wasn't into them. I was into platformers and games like that. But I had a friend that was really, 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 really into Final Fantasy 3. And he played it and played it and played it. I think he had played it when he let me borrow it. Well, not borrow it, but I played it at his house. But when he let me play it at his house, I think he had already played it through like probably 7 or 8 times. Like his strategy guide was worn out. And he said, "Hey man, you really got to try this game. It's really good. It's like my favorite game." And so I gave it a shot. I'd never played anything like that before, you know. And man, it opened up my eyes. I was like, this is incredible. Masterpiece of a game. But yeah, after that, I really got hooked on RPGs, Final Fantasies for sure. You know, but that kind of opened up the whole world for me because then Persona on PlayStation and all those games came out, and I was just in love with them, eating them up. But I did get to play after 3, 6, you know, 3 here, 6 everywhere else. I did get to play every Final Fantasy as it came out, which was really cool. That was one of the first, well, I guess not one of the first, but a very early game that I played on my PlayStation when I bought it. I had to trick myself to buy the PlayStation, not because I didn't want it, but because I just couldn't really afford it. So what I did is I bought a couple of PlayStation games, right? And I think the first game I ever bought for my PlayStation, y'all holler if you remember this one, Wing Commander 3. It was like, it had full motion video, it had Mark Hamill, John Rice Davies was in it, Malcolm McDowell was in it, and it was like space combat game, but had like the full motion video cutscenes. I think it was called like Heart of the Tiger or something. That was Wing Commander 3 though. That was my very first PlayStation game that I bought. And then I bought something else, big box. And it wasn't Resident Evil because Resident Evil wasn't out yet, but it was, man, I'm trying to remember what the other game that I bought, because I ended up buying 2 of them, because then the thought was, well, now I own PlayStation games, so I'd be a fool not to buy a PlayStation to play them on. Right? That would make no sense. So then I saved up my pennies to buy a PlayStation. But the PlayStation was my first console that I bought like with my own money. It was thrilling. But yeah, I have to give myself a little weird psychology on if I own the games, I gotta buy the system. No excuses. Do any of y'all's brains work like that? Does that make any sense? Or am I just a total weirdo? My feelings won't be hurt if I'm a total weirdo. I've had a notion that I was. Oh, you did the same thing, you woke up with the PS2. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I'm not a total weirdo. There's two weirdos out there. Welcome to the Weirdo Squad. Or Squirtle Squad, I guess. Right. That took a bit longer than I planned, but I guess I did draw 2 Feraligatrs. I think it is a good way to motivate for a big purchase for sure. I don't know if I would do that with a BMW, but game console for sure. Oh, that's cool, Mark. So you did that with Sonic Adventure. I love those games. Too high up. I can't remember what my first Dreamcast games were. I feel like I know like Crazy Taxi was a really early one. What was that boxing game? I love that game. What was that? Remember you could like unlock like Michael Jackson and Ready to Rumble boxing. That's what it was. I love that game. I think that was a pretty early one for me. And what else? Space Channel 5 was another one I got pretty early on the Dreamcast. I love that game. Y'all play Space Channel 5 with Ooh La La? Just making these a little bit bigger now, since we only did 4 today. Kind of a light day on getting drawings completed, but because man, I've been able to knock out 6, but I think pretty good quality today. What's it doing that? That's weird. What did I do that for? So yeah, and I think we're at 3:59 already. So let me see. So catch up on this. So so PS4 games. So you okay? So everybody bought games before they bought the consoles. Good. So that's normal behavior. I'd like to hear it. I'd like to hear that I was doing the normal thing to do. So you had Mr. Final Fantasy, you did Sonic Adventure, Virtua Fighter. Ooh yeah, Sega Rally 2. Heck yeah. House of the Dead 2 and Ready to Rumble. Nice. Did y'all ever play the typing of the Dead? It was like House of the Dead, but you used the keyboard. And it would give you like random words or random sentences. And then you had to like type them up. And it was like to teach you how to type. I'm horrible at typing because I have to look at the keyboard to type. So in like the boss battles, I would just start saying like incoherent phrases and stuff. But I had a friend and he was really good at typing, so I'd watch him play it, and it was so funny because he's just tapping away, and it was like, wow, that's incredible. I can't even do that. That was a fun one to watch. I did keep that one after all these years. I still have it. It's the typing of the Dead. It's so goofy. I could never play it well myself, but I liked watching my friend play it. So again, I gotta look at my keyboard to type, but it was really cool. All right, y'all. So we've got 4 done today. So again, kind of a light day, but I like how everything turned out. I think it turned out good. So I will post this up. I'll put the VOD on YouTube also. I need to put my link to my YouTube channel on Blue Sky. But if y'all don't follow me on YouTube yet, go ahead and do that if you want, if you don't mind. Subscribe or whatever it's called on YouTube. But yeah, and if y'all like the kind of showcasing this random junk that I have here, let me know. You know, I like to show off the junk I've got here, so we can do like little tours or little video game history while we do all the drawing. I think that'll be fun. So yeah, well, thank you everybody for joining today, and it was really great hanging out with y'all and talking to y'all. I'm gonna see if we can. Well, I wonder if we can write out, or let me see. Thank you, Mr. Final Fantasy. It's always good to have you, man. It's great to hang out and talk games with y'all. Let me see. I'm gonna do people on forward. So we'll have to figure out. I gotta get with people and see who would like a raid at the end of these. But we are going to just end it today, and I will see you hopefully on Friday. Friday I'm doing Kingdom Hearts. I'm doing Sora. So feel free to tune in and hang out. And I will talk to you all then. Hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Bye bye.